Last July, we interviewed Al Maxey. Mr. Maxey is inducted into both the Nebraska and Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame, became the first black lieutenant of the Lincoln, Nebraska Police Department, and was the bodyguard for Martin Luther King Jr. After the interview was over, Mr. Maxey continued sharing his life experiences for about 10 minutes. We decided to not air that last portion until now. This was also one of my first podcast interviews with video, so excuse the terrible shot of myself. Enjoy our conversation with Al Maxey.
I probably some things I thought about saying, and we didn't get to, but
like what?
I don't know what it could be.
Okay.
Oh, there was one thing I was thinking to give the university some props. Is that, back in 1916, there are black people on the campus here. I mean, a number of them to form the Kappa Alpha Psi Eta chapter at the University of Nebraska in 1916.
And you're still involved with that fraternity?
And I was introduced to that fraternity in 1958. So I've been a member since then. But what I'm saying is that the university was having black people come to the university back then, probably even further than that. But then that group was formed a fraternity at the University of Nebraska. What happened to them? Why did they, ask yourself, where did they go? Where are the offspring? Did they stay here? Did they teach here? Did they architect here? Did they were in the medical field? These people were top-notch students, but wasn't able to get any jobs. So they kind of disappeared. And then one or two people picked up the slack from that time to my time when I came here in 1957. Hopefully my legacy is that I carried that from one generation to the next generation, is to tell where I know it started, from just a fraternity, not just for the city, because I understood prior to all that we had an Air Force base here that brought a lot of people of color. With the migrations that came in, a lot of people started off in Hastings, Nebraska. People are not aware of that. Of course, a lot more people came up through the Missouri River and stayed in Omaha. You get tired, you find a place, John Brown's Cave, you ever heard of that in Nebraska City?
I don't think so.
You might have to look that up too.
Okay.
Look up Nebraska City, John Brown's Cave. He housed a lot of black people escaping from the South.
So was it a part of the Underground Railroad, or was it independent?
Part of it all.
Wow.
As a teacher in me, you got a couple assignments. But if you want to look at some of that, you got Oscar over there. Oscar was my best man at my wedding. We didn't bring that up either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a picture over there with him. I got Will Chamberlain, when he was here.
I guess I didn't know you knew Will.
Will Chamberlain?
Yeah.
Well, he's a fraternity brother for one thing, but when I could not play against him because freshmen could not play.
Okay.
You couldn't play as a freshman.
Yeah.
So I had to watch him. So after the game, we all got together and went down where we call T-Town, which is like T Street down there by the Malone Center where all the black folks were. And we got in a little house and we had a little dance in the basement. I could still close my eyes and see Wilt Chamberlain crawling down the steps to this lady's basement.
Wasn't Wilt like 6'10" or?
7'1" or 2. He stood out like this and he had to duck his head.
Oh my gosh! And so, what was he like back then?
He was just like another guy,
Okay.
I mean, white folk get so excited about, what was he like? No, he's just a friend. Oscar Robertson, you played basketball with Oscar Robertson? I said, yeah. Every day, it wasn't nothing. It wasn't no big deal. But every year after that, it is a big deal. You play basketball with Oscar Robertson.
Yeah. And Wilt Chamberlain, no one's ever going to break that 100-point record. Like he'll be in that. He'll have that record.
Oh man,
No one's ever going to break that.
how many free throws did he make? 30?
Yeah.
30 some free throws out of 42. They were beating him up and he was still scoring.
Yeah, which is crazy. He went to the line that much.
Well, they had to. You had to foul him to hopefully he'll miss a free throw, which he did many,
Yeah.
in order to try to win a game. That's the strategy. You play basketball.
Yeah.
You know what they do to me? They'll say, I played against Mo Iba.
Okay.
He went to Oklahoma State, and we had to play Oklahoma State with the Big Eight.
Yeah.
But I could hear his dad screaming out trying to stop me from Kid Maxey, stay with him. Oh, that was funny. I used to tell Mo about that. Well, see, Mo, I don't think he started at the time I played him. He would sit on the bench. But we have talked about those days.
Yeah.
When he was coaching here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you ever think about pursuing a professional career?
You know, I got letters over there that I was supposed to have been, at that time, drafted by Detroit Pistons. Also the Cleveland Pipers.
Okay. Were they ABA or NBA?
ABA was the Cleveland Pipers.
Okay.
So I got 2 letters over there. They told me with Detroit Pistons they had already had too many black folks. They had 2 black guys on the team. My history with the Cleveland Pipers, I would sign up to play with them. So they closed up the same year. Abe Cyberstein is the owner and the manager of the Globetrotters back then.
Okay.
And he bought the Cleveland Pipers at that time. Then they were struggling, so he closed it up the same time I was supposed to play for them. He said, "No, I'm no longer going to put any money in that ABA league." So that stopped me. I wasn't destined to play in the pros, and I played a lot of semi-pro stuff. Mm-hmm. But
Where at? Like in the Midwest? Like
riding through here.
Okay, so there were a semi-pro team?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I played on the team here that traveled a bit and made a little extra money.
Do you ever play pickup or anything? Do you ever get on the court?
I played pickup until I was 65 plus years. I told the people that I played with, don't call me to play another basketball game. The closest I'm going to get to a basketball game is with my kids or with my grandkids.
Yeah.
But I traveled all over the place. I have some of the team members over there. We can look at that later too, if you like. Yeah, I played for a long time. At the same time, I ran, I don't know how many, 27 marathons. All over I ran, let's see. The furthest I went is Athens, Greece. I ran the marathon.
Like the first one.
Huh?
Yeah, because marathon.
That's where it started.
Greek, yeah.
Yeah. So we went over there and ran that. And but I run New York, Chicago, Boston, San Francisco, Indiana, Omaha, Minnesota.
All over the place.
27 of them. And one ultra. I ran 50K right out there at the airport.
Wow.
Around and around and around. 50K. That's a lot. That's 30 some miles.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Maxey, I'm going to start.
You got to stop.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.